Okay, so I just figured I'd do a video demo of my project because it's just a little bit harder to explain, or like I mean, it's a little bit more difficult to understand when you just look at it. But basically, so my project is called Notgios, and basically what it is that it's a data visualization tool for cloud servers, essentially. So, I mean, I've only tested it with CentOS, but I tried to be like as POSIX compliant as possible when I was making this stuff. So it should, in theory, work with like, any kind of Linux, essentially. But so basically, yeah. So obviously, we have the way that this works is we have the web server here that's running. Obviously, this right here in front of us now, and then we also have a monitoring program that runs on each of the VMs individually, and then it just uses the socket API essentially to just send data back and forth. So if we want to go ahead, like right now, obviously you can see we just have basic garbage on these pages. If we just want to go ahead and create an account so that we can actually go ahead and do stuff, I guess I'll do Chris because that's my name, and then databases could be my desired password. It's really up to you. It's whatever. But okay, so we now have an account, and you can see we can log in, we can log out. It's very straightforward and easy. And so anyway, it's letting me know right now I don't have any servers. If I go and look at the tasks, it's going to tell me that I don't have any servers defined, obviously, so I can't have any tasks. But so all right, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to actually try adding a server. So give me a second. I have to go get an IP address for one of these. Okay. So that's what I want. All right, here we go. So this is an IP address of the first server. So I'm going to call this server monitored. It's totally up to you. You can name it whatever you want. We can go ahead and save it, and now this shows up as a disconnected server because obviously it's not connected right now. Originally, I was hoping to actually have a deployment process for this stuff set up so that it would automatically go ahead and add them. But I mean, unfortunately, I just kind of ran out of time. But in theory, you could do it. I think I probably will actually keep working with this project because I've had a lot of fun with it actually. But so now these are showing up as disconnected servers. So if I go ahead and actually manually start up the process on the remote servers then, so let's see here, I'll start it up here. You can see that's connected. And I'll go to this one and start it up here. That's connected too. And you can see it now shows up as connected on the servers themselves. And so basically, and it's really like pretty fault tolerant. If I go ahead and like kill it and then start it up again, it doesn't care. It's totally fine with it. Same over here, and then start it back up, and yeah, it doesn't care. It's totally fine. I can take down the server, they notice connect failed, stuff like that, and then I can bring it back up, and then they'll reconnect to it, and I can just take down one of them and bring it back up, and take another one down and bring it back up. They don't care. I spent a lot of time with the protocol, so it's all fine. You can see they still show up as connected here. So anyway, we can go ahead and reload. Oh, that's because I restarted the thing real quick. Actually, sorry, let me log back in. Yeah, I forgot when you restart the web server, you have to log back in. Databases. Okay, yeah. So here are the connected servers. So basically, when you first start up with Notgios, it defines just 2 tasks by default. Which just takes just general CPU usage on the server, and it only runs by default once every 10 minutes, which is probably a little insane. Actually, I should probably decrease that. So we want to go and like decrease that to something that we might actually be interesting for the purposes of this demo. I can actually go ahead and lower the frequency of measurement here. Just press update. That'll lower the measurement there, and that's on Notgios test. If we go over here and check. Yep, yeah, you can see it just went and redid that essentially. So now if we wanted to, we could actually view a graph of the CPU usage in real time. Now you can see we only actually have one data point here right now, and it's not going to be very interesting. Yeah, it's only at 1%. Like there's not going to be a whole lot that's happening here that's very interesting right now. But you can actually watch this in real time. It'll just kind of add data points as it happens. And so if we want to actually go and make this perhaps a little bit more interesting, let's see here, try adding a task. And the tasks that you can put on here, you can have a process, you can have it monitor the CPU usage or memory usage of a process. You can have it like go after the memory usage of a directory, or just the total CPU or memory usage on the server, essentially. But so if we want to do a CPU usage thing, and you can also have Notgios actually make sure the process keeps running, so that if it gets killed or something, it'll automatically be brought back up. So if we want to, I just have this here, right? It's just, I mean, it's a really just small little program that just spins and eats up a lot of CPU. And so let's see here, and then give it a PID file, and then tell it how often we want it to measure. I'm just going to say every 7 seconds it should take a measurement. So that's been created there. If we go and check on the thing, yep, yeah, you can see it just popped up there. So if I go ahead and ask to view the graph for this, let's see, always takes a second to load, and then there we go. You can see that we've got 100% CPU usage, which is not surprising. So if I go and add another one of those, it'll get a little bit more interesting because it's a pretty small VM, so it'll actually start vying for CPU usage then. So, and then this one will also be CPU usage, and I'll have this one run like every 6 seconds or something like that. Okay, so now we have both of these running. We can go over and check. That was task 6. Let's see, it takes it a couple seconds to send it over. Yep, okay, that got started. So now, let's see here. Yeah, there we go. Okay, now this should start to go down some once this one gets going, because this will start eating up the other one's CPU time. Okay, so let's see. It looks like now. There we go. Okay, that's what I expected. So now you can actually watch this happen in real time. It's kind of cool. If we wanted to show off, let's see here, a directory thing, I could have it, for instance, watch my Git repo or something like that. And let's have this one go like once every 5 seconds or something like that. And then now, you know, obviously if we just have it watching a static directory, it's not that interesting. But yeah, so you can see right now this is just, you know, it's going to be like a static. I can't remember exactly what the size of the directory is, but once it starts taking measurements, there we go. Okay, so it's like 32 megabytes or something. But if I actually now go onto the server and let's see, oh, I'm in the Git directory. Okay, and just like write a whole bunch of crap out. Just letting that go. Yes, just writes a whole bunch of data. You should, there we go. I was going to say, actually be able to see that reflected on the server. So let's see, how big was that output that I just made? So it was, yeah, I was going to say it's like 500 megabytes. So yeah, so then you can actually see that happen. And now if we actually go ahead and delete it, like to remove it, that should once again be reflected in the graph here. Let's see, yep, there we go. So anyway, and then you can obviously also go back through and change any of the configurations for any process, anything you have set up on here. So you can, you know, obviously delete things, you can add more servers, stuff like that. But so anyway, that's my project. I had a good time with it. It's powered with what do you call it? It's Ruby and Sinatra, and then the back end is just pure C using the Sockets API. And yeah, it was a lot of fun.